Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So today's theme, there's a bit of a change from what the decided theme was. So I'm going with the forgotten history of India. So today I'm going to talk about the lost and ancient history which is not taught in our schools, and the history which is there in textbooks and which was taught to most of us was plain boring and never quite fascinated me. But then when I started reading about ancient history, lost mysteries and everything, it really started fascinating me, and today I'm going to share some of the mysteries of India which I'm sure are going to thrill you. So, as we all know, 1,000 years of invasion have destroyed our rich history and culture, and also to some extent I would say we are still in that mind frame of mentally colonized, and we consider ourselves inferior from the West, which is absolutely rubbish. So today I'm going to talk about all these things, but before I delve further into the topic, I would like to call upon Vishal, who is going to be the GE for today, and he'll introduce his team of auxiliary road players. So Vishal, over to you. Let's talk about the Indian education system. So our education system is actually many thousand years old. Uh, you must have wondered why there are so many temples in the southern part of India. Does anybody have an answer?
Yeah. I think it was least affected by invasions.
Least affected by invasions, and also every village had a temple, because temple was a place where education was imparted, to basic education, elementary education was given. So it was served like a hospital and a school as well. And there were, like 1,000 years back, there were dozens of universities across India. To name a few, Nalanda, Takshashila, Sharda, etc. And many overseas students from overseas came to India for higher education. People from the Greeks came, the Chinese came for higher education. But these universities were destroyed by the Turkic invaders, as we all know. And it's said when the Nalanda University was destroyed, the library which they burnt, it kept on burning for months altogether. So much of written records were destroyed. And when the British came, they said that you people have all oral knowledge, you don't have the written knowledge. So we consider your history as myths. So that is how we lost our ancient history, all the written records, etc. And it's just amazing to imagine if we had access to all that information, all that knowledge, we would have been way ahead of where we are right now. So the next mystery to be unraveled is about the mighty river Saraswati. Did you know that the greatest river of all time is not Ganges or Brahmaputra? It was actually a river which was 60 times the size and magnitude of the Ganges. It was the mighty river Saraswati. It dried up about 4,000 years ago. Descriptions of the same are there in Rig Veda and Mahabharata. So Mahabharata was fought on the banks of river Saraswati, and in Rig Veda it is described as a river which is roaring. It makes such a loud sound when it is flowing, and its waves are as big as peaks of mountains. So imagine the size of this river. About 4,000 years ago, there was a massive drought which ended up wiping out this river out of existence. And did you know that Prayagraj, which is known to be the confluence of two rivers, Yamuna and Ganga, is actually a confluence of three rivers, which is Saraswati, Yamuna and Ganga. And Saraswati still flows from Himalaya to Ran of Kutch in hidden underground channels. So deep below the surface of earth, it is still there. So fascinating is the river Saraswati. I want to talk about ancient technology in India. So do you know when Mohenjo-daro was excavated, the stones which they found had a composition which could only be possible if there was a blast of the scale of a nuclear blast. And in the Puranas it is mentioned that only a few accomplished warriors could invoke a thing called Brahmastra, and it was capable of such massive destruction and explosion. So Brahmastras could have been like the atomic bombs of today's age. And also we had the detailed description of airplanes, Vimanas, in the scriptures. And when a researcher developed a 3D model of the Pushpak Viman, it was actually aerodynamic. And if you don't believe me, you can look it up for yourself, and it would be like a really fascinating research. So I would like to say that it's unfortunate that we are not really aware of our rich history and culture, and which also makes us feel inferior to others, to our Western counterparts. But we should take more interest and pride in knowing our history, and we should revive the former glory of India, which was there earlier. So with that, I would like to call upon it's time for the table topic sessions. So table topics is basically you're allotted a time of 2 minutes and given a random topic on which you have to speak about. And Mayank is our table topic master. So a huge round of applause for Mayank.